Okay, so our lesson's on rotation, and we will be using this to demonstrate how objects can rotate around the origin. So I want to start with just the definition. I want to ask them what they think rotation means first and try and come up with some ideas of what rotates. And maybe that will give them a better idea of something that rotates like around one point, like a wheel or pinwheel. And then introduce the activity, have them draw the axis. That's probably going to be the most time-consuming part, because they need to draw an axis but no numbers on their square. Because when they rotate...
On this, if you want, you can use even the smart board. I don't know, are you going to make this and give it to them as like a worksheet like that?
I have little guys, and I cut out little 6x6 squares.
Okay.
So if they plug in the very center of it, they have something exactly like that.
My point is this, if you want, you can also have that.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All they have to do is draw it. So the whiteboard, I mean, you choose, which way you want to do. My point is that we want to avoid as much as possibly we can the consuming time on less consumption of the time on the preparation.
Right.
So you could have done just draw this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then rotate it around that. So this, if you're doing it now, I mean, with this it will make more sense.
Yeah.
They actually have to
I mean, I want
rotation.
them. If it's time, then I'll punch those in. You know what I mean? I want them to have a tangible thing where they can watch it, and then that way they'll derive the formula themselves.
Probably now it's going to be more preparation on you, so I would make this pretty much ready without the shape on.
Okay.
Just hand it to them and then have them
stick the thing in the center. Okay.
Right.
I can do that very easily. And then we'll do the rotations, we'll talk about the points, we'll derive the formulas, and then we will hand over classwork. Easy peasy.
Right. The classwork is going to be just based on the rotation.
Yeah.
They will work in Schoology.
And they need to do 1 through 4 in the book.
On page 121.
120 through 120.
So in this case, maybe even you want to start with, because the rotation is also part of the translation. So maybe you want to start something with like a warm-up and give them just a figure, like, okay, you have 5 minutes to finish it up, draw an axis and all that, and have them just do, like, give them a rule just to refresh them. Hey, you know what, this is what the transformation, right? And then within that time, because I have the vocab written on the board,
you could ask motion.
You can ask them, just say if it's rigid motion or if it's not a rigid motion.
Okay.
If yes, why or why not.
Okay.
And that warm-up shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. It shouldn't.
So give them a rule.
And have them do the transformation.
So can I give them one of these rules?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like you can come up with your own rule, draw a figure, and then have them, complete the table. So that will refresh them because they haven't done that for 2 days now?
Longer, yeah.
Right. So it will refresh them how to do the table.
Okay.
The mapping for each point. And then you can do the same thing. Say, hey, you know what? It's exactly the same thing, except now instead of moving the object from horizontally or vertically, but all you're going to do, you're going to take the object and rotate it either counterwise or clockwise. So I mean, this warm-up, it just will refresh their memory about the rule.
Perfect.
And I'll give out you the warm-up paper.
Cool. I will make all my little spinner things.
I mean, if you can get this again, ready.
Just the axis.
Even probably that would be kind of.
If I can hand
You know
out,
what? Just have the axis done.
Yeah.
And let them do this part. It's kind of they'll do something
It's a
different,
crafts,
right? So
right.
it's punching in and then. I mean, it's not a big deal, but they.
for them, it'll be nice and hands-on.
Right.
First period's fun.
Right.
They're a fun group.
Right.
So I'll prep as much as I need to without,
So
impeding on
if
their
you want
creativity.
me, I can also email you the worksheet that we're gonna post it in, so you can look over that before. Make sure also that whatever rules you wrote down,
Mhm.
it works 100%. It's the correct rules.
It does. This is what I was doing when you left me
Perfect.
on Thursday.
Okay.
I was sitting
So,
here like this.
Right. I mean, because once they know the rule, they memorize it
Right.
without even checking the work or am I doing this right or wrong? Is this correct? And then plus when you give them to write something in their notebook, their units are not accurate as the whiteboard or this one. So some units will be bigger, some units will be smaller, and they will
Because they don't
start.
have graphing.
It'll become frustrating for them if they rotate the unit, and even the coordinates are correct,
It doesn't
but the
look
picture
the same.
is not the same, right?
So for them, it'll look like non-rigid.
Correct. So
One of the girls in 6th period, I want to say, last week, she did one and she messed up a coordinate, and she was like, "Are we doing non-rigid motions?" And I said, "We're not. So you must have done that wrong." And I was like, "But I'm really happy that you know what that is."
right.
And she was
So
like,
because they
"Yeah,
know that non-rigid has to do something with the shape.
change shape."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, because of their coordinate system, could be wrong.
Well, yeah,
You know
she
what
had,
I mean?
she, had
The
a wrong, she had
units.
one wrong coordinate.
But besides that, if one unit is bigger than the other one,
Oh yeah,
it
it'll
will
be
look
way
like
off.
it will look
But
like even
that
the
one, they
coordinates are
did-
the same.
They did get to use graphing paper.
Right.
That was on Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, also the other thing to avoid for them to write it down in the
In the notebook?
In the notebook,
Okay.
we can also print it out because it's gonna come with the graph.
That?
Right. So the
Oh
one that we
yeah.
just created,
Maybe that's better.
classwork, 9-4, same this one.
Because
If
then
you
they can
print
just
it's
glue
gonna
it.
come like that. Yeah, so it doesn't come anything else, so it comes
Right.
like that.
That's very nice.
Right? Right?
Right.
So all the graphing is already on it. But the problem is that on this one I said graph the image, so the image is already there. And that's why
Right.
I kinda
So we'll have them cross that out. They just need to write the rule.
no, I mean I can
And
go
the
back
graph.
and change it the way that it doesn't graph it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that was here. Write the rule, describe the
So number
transformation,
2.
and then graph. I can take that out. You know, they all they have to do is just graph it. Use the mapping table. So technically, they will describe the transformation,
Okay.
meaning whatever rotation it is, and then all they have to do is put the table. It's like very similar to that.
They just need to know what their coordinates are doing.
Right.
When you're teaching something like this, would you suggest them to do the table first and then do this rule last? Or do they need to find the rule and then write the coordinates?
I would.
Work backwards?
Well, it doesn't matter which way they do it, but technically, what I do, I say, if the rule is given to them, like this, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is no rule given here. See, we
Well,
didn't
it's just
put
saying
anything.
rotation. Well, it says rotation
Right, but I want to put probably
90 degrees counterclockwise, and
Correct.
they should have a formula for that.
Correct. I'm thinking that write the rule. See, you can do the rotation, and they will have to write out the rule for each one.
Okay.
Let's do
Isn't
couple
this
of
right, the
those.
rule, though?
Writing. Oh, we did have the one. That
Yeah,
we writing.
the second one's already.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they're given the pre-image
So
and the image.
from here, they will find out what is the
Oh, let's put in there, though, using the mapping table.
Give the image of the figure using the graph the image. Oh, okay, here also. Use the table, use the mapping table. And how did I say? Use the table of values. Table of values for coordinates to show the mapping.
The mapping. There should be plenty of room.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, we can print out. It's just going to be one page, though they won't have an access to the answers, which is completely okay. So on this one, we decided describe a rule, so they have to write down the rule here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we
Use
give them
mapping
both
table.
images.
Right, and this one,
Those won't be on there. The red.
use the mapping table to write the coordinates of each point. What did we say here?
Choose the zero values for coordinates to show the map.
Well, it's the same thing.